Hello everyone, it's Jerry Caudell, the Yankee Creek Stitcher. I'm finally back for Flosstube number 18. It is Thursday, wow, February 28th of 2019. It is hard to comprehend that 2 months are already gone in the year of 2019. It's crazy how time has just flown this year. I will be having the 1,500 subscriber giveaway at the end of this video, so stay tuned for details on that. Thank you so much for everyone that has subscribed and come back to visit with me each week. I appreciate that. All the lovely comments on my videos, I just love it. It's just a wonderful community, and being able to share just a little part of, what I do when my studio, I really enjoy it. And I'm glad you all are enjoying it too. And if you're new, thank you so much for stopping by and spending a little time with me. I hope you do hit that subscriber button so we can do another milestone giveaway. So what I've been up to is quite a bit the last couple weeks combined. My husband and I went to the Derby Dinner preview, their new season preview show. It was amazing as usual, and the shows that they are going to have are just so awesome. So we're super excited about that. I have done some crafting. I did make a coffee filter wreath for any of you that watch Priscilla and Chelsea, and there's not a lot of people that don't. They shared their coffee wreath tutorial a few weeks ago, and I just love it. Super easy to put together. I'm going to insert a picture of mine here. Like I said, that was inspired by Priscilla Blaine with the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch, her and her daughter Chelsea. A couple of tips I wanted to share with you was I did use the straw form, wreath form that Priscilla used. I think it was $4 at Hobby Lobby. I did use that form. She used 300 coffee filters. I actually used 447 coffee filters. I got mine really compact, really close together. It was so obviously it was a little more thick than hers. The only thing is I did it on 2 different days. The first, basically the inside ring, you could tell was just a little bit of a different color. That's where I didn't get the coffee filters as like tight together. That's the part I did on the second day, so my tension wasn't the same as I did the day before. So either do it all at one time or pay attention to how close you actually put those together and keep it consistent. It's not that big of a deal. It just looks like a little faded brown, which, it's just the straw form itself coming through. So it's not a big deal, but you can see it faintly. And secondly, before I started putting the coffee filters on my wreath, I took floral wire and just looped it around the wreath itself and kept the wire, the other end of it, where I can hook it to something. That way I hook the wreath form itself by the wire that's in the back instead of hanging it by the ribbon that gets looped around it for the decoration part. So you see in mine, it looks as though it's hung by the ribbon, but it's actually hung by the wire. The wire is taking the weight of the wreath. That way my coffee filters don't get smashed and take the weight of that wreath. So I thought it looked a little, just a little bit better. It's hanging by the wire instead of by the ribbon itself. So all my coffee filters all still stayed nice and full. Okay, I have bought some more springy stuff for my hutch. So after I get some of my spring cross stitches fully finished and in my hutch, I'll get all my spring decor together for a little video to share with you. Probably closer to April. Easter is like April 21st this year, which is it seems so far away, but time has flown so far, so it won't take no time to get here. And my husband's birthday is tomorrow, March 1st. So his favorite cake is German chocolate cake. So pretty much every year I make him a German chocolate cake for his birthday. So I will be working on that this evening after I get my Flosstube recorded and up and going. I'll be working on making him a German chocolate cake for tomorrow, which is so yummy. My daughter and I made a trip to IKEA. There's one in Indianapolis, which is about an hour and a half away for us, and we went there last weekend. I did get a couple of items for my studio that I will be sharing with you next week, but it's such a cool place. It's, you know, most of it's not my style. I like the primitive, and it's more of a modern take on things. But I did find a shelf and a wire hanging system for my floss. My floss I normally keep in a drawer and that I don't see it, but I love looking at it. So I did get a solution from IKEA. So I'll share that with you once I get it all put together. I'll share that with you next week. And I have been drooling and admiring all the sneak peeks and all the new release photos that the designers have shown for market this weekend. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to see all the pictures and posts and videos that people are going to be sharing this weekend from being at market. Next week, next Saturday, March 9th, for any of those in the area, I know a lot of shops will be doing this. But my L&S, the Finishing Touch on Frankfort Avenue in Louisville, is having a market Saturday. They will be open 10 to 3 and showcasing all the goodies they were able to get their hands on to bring back for us to purchase. So if you're in the area and don't have an L&S, come visit the Finishing Touch 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. in downtown Louisville. It's easy to get to. It's just a quaint little shop, and I love it. Okay, I did have some similar comments from my previous videos that I wanted to comment on. Was my colorful wall behind me. It is all fabric that basically it's my fabric stash. Instead of my cross-stitch chart stash, this is my fabric stash. I do quilt, and as I've showed you in some of my previous videos, I do quilt and wall hangs and mini quilts, table toppers. But this is just my fabric stash. There is pretty much anywhere from a fat quarter to a yard. My yards I fold into bigger pieces, and then my fat quarters are in front of the bigger pieces. So yeah, it's pretty much a rainbow. I love walking into my studio and seeing all the beautiful colors. It's very inspiring. That's why I wanted to have my floss hanging out so that I could admire that whenever I walked in too. So I love it. Okay, so I did have a few stash enhancements. I mentioned we went to Derby Dinner, and they have the cutest little gift shop, and every time I go, I strongly mention to my husband that I pick out just one little item. So, oh my goodness, we went, it was this past Monday that we went, the 25th. Oh, and they got spring stuff out, and I seen this, and I was like, oh, that's it. Because there's several things that I wanted, but as soon as I saw this, I'm like, that's what I gotta have. Oh, look at this. A little sheep on wheels with a rabbit riding on his back, holding a big old carrot. Is that not adorable? Oh, I think it's so cute. And I knew when I seen this reminds me of a chart, a cross-stitch chart. Yes, it does, as a matter of fact. It is Easter Parade by Brenda Gervais, except it's riding a duck. But I thought that was so cute. So yes, this is next on my stitch list, so that I can get that put together and coordinate these two little items together on my hutch. I'm so excited. I did, got my weeks, Trisha 3L threads, nest egg. I was signed up for the weeks. I did change it yesterday. I emailed her and asked if I could change to Gentle Arts. I have a lot of weeks now, so I wanted to switch it up a little bit. I have only a few Gentle Arts, so I did get that switched over. But this month's, I did get the weeks. I won't go through each one, but beautiful colors as usual. So that's this month's nest egg. And as you may know, if you visit designers' websites, a lot of them have free charts. And just perusing through Heaven and Earth Designs website, and now I haven't worked on my Hade anymore since I showed it to you last time. So I've just gotten so wrapped up in spring stitching, I just have not went back to it. But I did find another one that I want to work on. It's a freebie chart. It is called Peacock Daisy, and the colors are amazing. I absolutely love the colors and would love to get this stitched to put in my studio. In my studio, I love the bright colors in here, but the rest of my house is pretty primitive, or farmhouse. But I just love that color. Love the dahlia. Or daisy. Sorry, it's a daisy. Looks more like a dahlia. Oh well. It's 525 by 525. Quite large. Okay, so like I said, that was a freebie, and they did have a few others on their website as freebies. I did make a purchase at Jen's Stitching Niche on Etsy. I got Little House New Works Winter ABCs. I had seen several people stitching on this and had to have it. I got that. I also got, that's where I got the Easter Parade from. And I also got the Prairie Schooler Barnyard Christmas. I had one of these ornaments since I had seen Yvonne, the Night Owl Stitcher, finish these for her Christmas tree. This is a reprint. It is not the original cardstock, but I don't care. I just want the charts. So hopefully you get these stitched up for next Christmas. I have so many things to stitch up for next Christmas. We'll have to make a priority list. From Kitten Stitcher, Teresa Bennett. This was from Carol, the Sockbox Stitcher. Teresa let her make up her own sale. And so she picked out items that she wanted to see on sale. And of course we got to go buy if we liked any of them. I got JBW Designs Antique Rooster Sampler. So cute. I got 36 count Picture This Plus pewter. And it's an 18 by 27 count. It's kind of a greenish gray. Beautiful color. I really like that. I'm wanting to stitch some Americana red, white, and blue type things on gray, so I might use this for that. And I've got the free anchor floss that she includes with her orders, the green. And I see everyone stitching samplers, and I've never stitched one, and I guess I'm just not crazy about all the designs, but I've seen this one and I love the colors. I love the chart. And so I went ahead and stacked it. I thought I'm gonna do that. I would love to do a sampler. It's on the smaller side. It's 137 by 169 compared to a lot of the samplers that I've seen people stitch. They can be quite huge. So this is a nice size I thought to start with, but I love the colors. It's the Pink Sparrow sampler. I just love the colors and kind of just the simplicity of the chart itself. So I'm excited to start on this as well. And from eBay, I got, and this is the original cardstock, but I won this in an auction, the Prairie Schooler Country Fair 1. Rooster, cow, pig, goat. I just think they're so cute. I'll probably will make color changes to these, but it's book number 1. There's a county fair too, and oh, there's like a bunny, a chicken, and 2 more. I can't remember what they are, but oh, I think it may be a sheep. There's 4 total on the other one, so I'll be on the lookout for that. Okay, so I had to run and do my afternoon bus route. So I'm back from it, so there might be a little bit of lighting changes, or I might look a little more frazzled, you know, elementary, about 50 to 60 kids on a bus. They weren't too bad today. Okay, so moving on to whips, starts, finishes, and all that fun stuff. I did get 3 finishes. I got 2 finishes done on the Prairie Schooler Signs of Spring. I did this little guy and this hen and chicks. When I first started cross stitching, I had went to Hobby Lobby, and they have little packs of fabric, Ada, and they have some linens. I had bought this fabric and I was anxious to tea and coffee dye fabric just to get started after I had seen Priscilla and Chelsea's video on tea and coffee dyeing. So I bought 18 count Ada, what I now know is 22 count Hardanger, some 32 count linen, and tea coffee dyed it. And when I just took it all the packages, threw it in the pot. I thought, it won't matter, you know, what the count is. Yeah, it does. So I've learned this is 22 count Hardanger, and I don't remember if I showed this in my last video or not. That's what happens when you skip a week on videos. I can't remember what I've told you. But anyway, this was my one finish, and my second finish. I'm thrilled with these. I did do this is 1/1 on the 22 count Hardanger, so they're pretty tiny, about 1.5 inches square on this one. I'm going to make these into little ornaments. I'm going to get just like a twiggy little tree to hang these on, finish them off into little flat ornaments, and hang those on an Easter tree. So I have a few more to go, but they stitch up so quick, so I'm really enjoying those. The third finish from those 2 is, this was a freebie from Waxing Moon Designs, checkered board bunny. And there was not a finished photo of it, but I have it finished, so you can see it. I stitched this on Color and Cotton 36 count Marvelous that I had gotten in their monthly fabric club. The fabric's a little more purpley, and that's pretty good there. I did use just the DMC called for. The bunny itself, is stitched in ecru. I did change that. I think it called for just white, but I did just a little bit warmer. And I did stitch it 1/2. So I'm anxious to get him finished and get him my hutch. Really thrilled with that. And I do have one whip that I'm currently stitching away on. It is the Seasons in Chalk Spring, and I don't have a printout of it. I've just got the little bunny part of it done. I'm stitching on 32 count Weeks Gunmetal, and I am thrilled. It is stitching up so fast. I am stitching this 2/2, I did change up the colors from what was called for. But I had done all the white, and I was so anxious to get some color in there to see how it was going to look. And oh my gosh, I just love it. And I have really scrimped on this fabric. It was a 13 by 19 piece, and I've used half of it for something. I don't remember what it was. It's being one of my whips. But the top and bottom, I'm working with a 3/4 of an inch margin, and on either side it's 1.5 inches. So I decided, since the bunny was the closest part to the edge that I would be working with, I went ahead and started in the bottom right corner. I usually start in the top left, but he was the closest to the edge, so I started there to make sure that I got everything on there. But I just love it. It's stitching up quick, and the colors, I just love the colors. I did change up the colors. It called for some gentle arts and I think a couple of weeks, but I'll just show you what I'm using. For the pink, I am using Color and Cotton's Luau, and I had received this in the monthly floss club, but it is a beautiful variegated pink and orange. I never thought I would use this, but oh my gosh, it just looks beautiful on that gunmetal fabric. So that's my pink. It calls for some blues, and I'm using Bermuda. Love that. Another Color and Cotton. The yellow that it calls for, I'm going to use Color and Cotton Daffodil. It's a beautiful springy yellow. The green, the grass green and accent greens I'm using is Weeks Dye Works Lucky. It's a really nicely variegated green with kind of a lime green and a yellow. Definitely springy. I love it. And my white that I'm using for my chalk is Victorian Motto's Vanilla Pudding that I had received for the 'Tis the Season chart, or chart, or floss pack for that chart. But yeah, this is the plum pudding from Victorian Motto, and I'm loving stitching on this spring. I just love these. I mean, it's almost, you know, these colors could be spring or summer, but I love doing a floss toss and changing up. Initially I figured that it would like stress me out, because usually trying to mix and match things usually stresses me out. I'm like, oh, I want to make sure I get the right combination, but it's actually, I think, pretty fun putting all these together and making your own combination. I really enjoyed it, so that's why I was anxious and excited when I found the system to store my floss the way I'm going to store it, so I can see all the beautiful colors in front of me all the time. So that was my whip. Oh, I meant to say, I didn't calculate my time on the little Signs of Spring stitching, but this one, I did stitch on this for about a little over 11 hours to finish this one. I didn't think that was too bad, but I love keeping track of it because it really helps me gauge on other projects of how long it's going to take me, because some things I'm like, oh, I'll stitch that up in a few hours, and you know, but it took 11. So I like keeping track of my time and knowing the stats. Okay, so that was all my finishes. So hopefully next week I will get these few finishes fully finished and on my hutch. Super excited about that. I've been buying some flower picks and that kind of stuff to put the little details, and I'm got another project I'm working on that's inspired by Priscilla and Chelsea that I am actually going to be using a bunch of this back here for. So I'm super excited about that. Well, I want to have it done by next week. We'll see how that goes. With my husband's birthday this weekend, my daughter from Nashville's coming in, so we're going to celebrate him this weekend. So I'm not sure what all we're going to get done and how much extra free time that I'll have to spend on that type of stuff. Okay, so my plans is to continue my spring stitching, get these fully finished, get my hutch in place, and I've got mania on the brain, because it's a lot of planning. I learned from trying to do the Flossmas a new stitch every day for Flossmas. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of planning to decide what you're going to stitch and make sure you have your floss and your fabric and all that, you know, all the fun stuff, and coordinate, you know, if I want to change up the floss colors. So I'm trying to start planning now to make sure I have all the fabric that I need. And plus, I'm not sure, do I want to, you know, just pull out some random charts that I want to start stitching, or do I want to start an ornament each day? Do I want to do just 19 days of mania since it's 2019? Do I want to try to do all 31 days? So I don't know. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I'm definitely doing some new starts, but I got to decide if I want to do, you know, a theme, if I want to do Christmas, or if I want to do fall. So I don't know. I'm tossing that around, and so I'm hoping to be able to share some mania plans with you soon. Okay, on to the giveaway. I have decided I don't have any springy charts to give away, but the closest I have, and this is a duplicate that I accidentally bought twice. It's Hands-On Designs Sunflower Manor. And I thought, you know what? If you didn't stitch the pumpkins and just did the top part, that would be a beautiful spring stitch. And I actually might do that myself. So you can, hey, double duty, spring and fall. So I'll include this in my giveaway and maybe a couple little other extras with that. All I want you to do, I couldn't think of anything creative, so I thought maybe I'll do that, something fun on my next milestone. So just give me a comment below. I love reading the comments and people's ideas and what they enjoy seeing or watching me talk about. I've had some people ask for, you know, to share some of my tutorials on how I finish on projects. So I do plan on doing that. So leave me a comment below of just love watching my videos or suggestions on what to include in my videos. I would appreciate that. But I appreciate all of you returning each week and spending some time with me. I really do enjoy it. It's really motivational. So thank you so much for subscribing. And if you're just dropping by today, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and the bell. And I do try to post every week. And my intentions are to post next week as well. So until next Thursday, thanks so much for stopping by. I hope everyone has a fabulous week. Bye-bye.